Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Amanda. Have you guys seen some of the coverage at CES? A lot of the big guys are out there listening to a $50,000 headphone amp and headphone set, and that's just crazy to me. So this is my version of that. This is about as expensive as I would want to go. This is the Wu Audio WA7 FIreflies headphone amp, and I've got it paired up with the Sennheiser HD700 headphones. So the price on this comes in at about $1,000 for the amp, and the headphones you can get around $500-ish usually on Amazon. I'll have links for both of them down below. So this is a killer setup with an audiophile quality sound, and I'm no audiophile, but again, I do want to do my best to try to give you my impressions of these and tell you how I feel and tell you if I think they're worth it or not. Also, this video would not be possible without the help from Wu Audio. Thank you guys for hooking it up and sending this out for review. So let's jump right inside. So once we got this all unboxed, this is really heavy, so you want to use extreme caution while unboxing all this and handling all this. But on the left-hand side, we have the amp, and on the right-hand side, you have your power unit, and then you have a cable that goes from the power brick to the amp itself, but it doesn't include the cable that goes from the power brick to the wall. So you're going to need to make sure you pick up one of these, and this is what it's going to look like. But we'll talk about that a little more here in just a little while. So whenever I unboxed this and I took the little vacuum tubes themselves out and had to place them in here, I don't know why, but I was terrified they were going to just shatter in my hands. They went in with no problem, but as I was pushing on them, I was afraid to use too much force, and it took just a little bit to get the connection solid. But have no fear, there was no issues getting them in there, and that's just a silly fear on my part. So once you get them in there, you're going to protect them with this very large piece of glass, and it's really heavy, so you want to use a lot of caution when handling it. But it's meant to protect them, and it does its job, and it looks great as well. So starting with the front, on the left-hand side at the bottom, you can see the WA7 FIreflies logo. It's nice and subdued, nothing in your face and tacky. You have your nice, smooth turn dial, and then on the right hand on the bottom, you have your 3.5 and 1/4 inch headphone inputs. On the backhand side, we have our USB input, our left and right audio, a little switch to swap between which audio source. You have your high and low switch, your audio connection input, and then your power on and off switch as well. So at first, whenever I connected this, I hooked up to my MacBook and it recognized it immediately, and there was no drivers or anything I needed to install. Whenever I switched over to my Windows PC, it was a newly built PC that I just got through finishing, so I had to download and install some drivers, but once I got them installed and connected it via the USB cable, everything was recognized and it played flawlessly. So let's go ahead and get some of the specs out of the way. So this is a vacuum tube amp, but it also has a DAC built inside. It's capable of handling 32 bits at 192 kilohertz, and this thing is going to sound awesome with any headphones that you have, but it's really going to shine with some higher end headphones as well, kind of like the ones I've used in this review. So for my listening experience, I signed up for a 1-month free trial of Tidal's premium high-quality streaming service. Normally that'll cost you about $20, but I wanted to listen to the best that I could. So I connect this to my PC via the USB cable. Again, that's not provided, so you're going to need one of your own. And just using the integrated DAC, I thought these things sound fantastic. There's no audio hiss or no kind of background noise when the audio is silent. And when the audio is playing, it was overwhelmingly good for my opinion. The highs, the mids, the lows, everything was there, but what really impressed me was the soundstage. Whenever I listened to a show that had been recorded from a live performance, I was absolutely blown away by the way that sound. I felt like I was absolutely there. You could tell where each instrument was. The detail was just amazing. Whenever the singer had walked from one side of the stage to the other, you could see her going by in your mind. The clarity was absolutely crazy, and it was just kind of almost overwhelming, like, whoa, what's going on? I feel like I'm actually sitting in this performance, and that was really, really crazy to me. I had never really experienced that to that depth. So one thing I do want to note is, even though there are 2 headphone jacks on the front side, you can only use one at a time, and that's not necessarily a disappointment, but just something worth noting. So if I had $1,000 to spend and I was in the market for a desktop amp, this is absolutely the one I would buy. It sounds amazing, and just to top it off, it even looks amazing. It looks like a piece of art sitting on my desk. However, if I was going to buy this at $1,000, I would expect it to have all the necessary cables to connect it, and at least the ones to power it on. I understand some things they want you to buy extra cables, or some people are going to buy upgraded cables, but the power unit to me is kind of a necessary one, and this thing sat on my desk for several days because I couldn't use it because I didn't have a cord to connect it. So it's a little disappointing, but it's certainly not a killer. So guys, I hope this review has been helpful for you guys. Don't forget, I will have links down below for everything. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.